And we are back, and we just finished watching 2021's Belle, rated PG with a runtime of 2 hours and 1 minute. This is currently streaming on HBO Max. This is the story of a young girl named Suzu, who is very shy and very withdrawn, especially after the untimely death of her mother many years ago when she was a child. And she's
almost caused her to commit suicide as a child.
Did it?
She had to walk into that river.
I guess.
I don't know if I interpreted it.
I don't know if I interpreted that way either. I mean, maybe she wanted to go in the water to be with her mother. I don't know.
Yes, that's what I mean. Commit suicide so she can be with her mother.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
What suicide was.
Yeah.
I didn't quite see it that way. Her mom dies
trying to save
sacrifice to save a little girl who she does save, but
she doesn't make it.
She doesn't make it. She drowns.
And many years later, she's in high school, going through all the high school stuff, and somehow she's friends with Ruku, the popular girl.
Ruka/Luka.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand their friendship. It
I
just sort of
didn't
appeared
either.
out of nowhere about 3/4 of the way through the movie.
Agreed. I was like, I mean, there was that scene where she's like come into the picture and she's being all weird and stuff.
Yeah, it's like they admired her from afar.
Right.
There wasn't any sort of like animosity or anything.
No. It was just like you don't even hang out in the same orbit of friends. So how are you all of a sudden Suzu's friends? I guess you have to suspend disbelief. Anyway,
a lot of strange relationships in this movie.
That's beside the point. I guess the main thing is that there is a social media platform called You, which is a virtual reality world where you can be whoever you want to be. Woo-hoo! And in this world,
so sort of like the Matrix or whatever that they called it in Ready Player One.
Oh, is that what you would compare it to?
I guess.
I'd compare it very much to Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Okay,
sort of.
I guess sort of.
The only difference between
you choose what you look like.
Yeah, that was I was about to say that the only difference between is Ready Player One, you could choose what you look like, whereas in You, it's sort of like we're gonna
take your data
and make an avatar for you, and like.
But like that's the person you want to be.
I felt bad for some of those people.
But that's what they wanted to be. That was their imagination.
No,
what they wanted. Yeah,
no,
that
wasn't.
That was
a hand with a face.
Why would somebody choose to be a hand with a face?
Yeah,
because they're probably weird. They probably like drawing hands or something.
No, they didn't get any choice in the matter.
I kind of saw this as like
no.
Yes.
Well, I guess it's not. I was gonna say it's sort of like social media Sims, world building. But did anyone do anything other than fly around?
That was the thing that was strange about You. It was like so popular, but basically all it really was a big, giant, empty space.
Yeah, nobody did anything. No one was like creating stories.
There wasn't any like rides or I don't know. It was strange. It was just people were floating around looking like their favorite anime character or a hand with a face or an angel fish.
And Belle was the only one doing anything by singing.
Well,
there were other singers, but she became the most popular.
The point of You is basically just become internet famous.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
that
the
makes
point.
sense.
It's sort of like the culmination of what's going on now with likes are the most important thing. I mean, likes and followers.
It still didn't translate well. I don't know. Maybe they should have focused. Anyway, this film is an amalgamation of stuff because then you have a story like a Beauty and the Beast sort of element in the story as well, and then there's sort of like cutting between the You world and the real world, and some of it just didn't.
And random relationships like who's in love with who,
right?
And
that's because you worry about it too much. Jesus,
Mom's the one worrying.
I don't care
you
about
both worry about it.
I don't worry. I just want a story to make sense to me.
I have never cared about whether.
Yeah, Dad doesn't care. Mom's the one who's always like, is she going to hook up with whatever?
Yeah, Mom's the one always.
You were like that too.
When?
No. I was like, the only time that came up with me was when I said, oh, she likes the kayak guy.
No, she doesn't.
The Ruka likes the kayak guy. That's when I said it.
Yeah, she doesn't like that guy.
No, Ruka did.
Ruka does like the kayak. They end up together.
Yeah.
Christ.
Were you not paying attention?
I thought you were talking about Suzu.
No, Ruka, he
No,
said.
Suzu, it was like weird because it was like, is she in love with the Beast? Is she in love with Shinobu? I forgot what his name was.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
It's about as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah. Whatever his name.
I guess he doesn't love her. He's just protective of her because she's being bullied because she's sad when she was a little kid.
He thought she was being bullied when she was a little kid. She was a little kid because she was always crying. Like, people didn't like her because of that. And, like, that's why he thought she was being bullied or something.
But he seemed a little too invested in her. Because even Ruka said, like, oh, he's always worrying about you.
Yeah.
Or was it her friend, the other girl? What was her name? Hiro? She's
No, it was Ruka.
No, it was Ruka who said that, yeah. And, like, where the hell did Hiro... Like, Hiro just was there... And she's like,
Hiro was kind of a jerk.
she was like a computer master. She carried around like
tons of hardware,
like a giant desktop computer, and
no,
like
it was more than that. It was like several monitors. Like, yeah,
and she's just like lugging this on her back.
Well, she was only carrying it once because like she was banned from that room.
Even once.
Yeah, she's like,
I'm much larger than a tiny Japanese schoolgirl, and I am not carrying 4 giant screen monitors.
She's probably more active than you, stronger.
I think it was more than 4 monitors.
She could have been doing push-ups every day. She's carrying way more than a human being should be able to carry safely.
And she was shorter than Suzu, and Suzu was a lightweight.
Yeah.
Right?
Lightweight.
Yeah.
The tallest one was Ruka.
What?
Does lightweight mean something different now than
I know?
it did when we were kids?
because us old folks don't. I hope that wasn't bad.
No, nothing bad. It's like when you're a lightweight, it means you get drunk really fast.
Oh, lightweight is also like.
That's only when you're talking about drinking.
Yeah.
A lightweight is somebody who doesn't weigh a lot.
Yeah.
I've never heard it used in any other way.
Oh, who the hell are you hanging out with?
I don't know how to feel about this one.
I mean the animation was nice, but there was a lot of just bizarre story elements that were just sort of like jumbled together. I think this could have been like streamlined way more than it was.
Yeah, I mean it's this 2-hour film. It's
not
a
2-hour film. There's a lot
short.
of random things going on in it, and just things are drawn out, and I still don't understand why. I guess you need the U for her to come out of her shell.
And then the domestic abuse storyline was just
put a restraining order on that guy. I demand you to.
And then what happens with that? She goes all the way to Tokyo or wherever the hell she went, like
by
herself on a train.
She stays there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and they were like, it was like such a distance that they actually talked about a plane, didn't they?
Yes.
And she goes there and just randomly finds
these kids,
the kids, and the father's like, oh.
And then she stares him down. She's like a third of his height.
She's a third of his height.
Stares him down, and he like cowers.
He's like walking down like Vince McMahon or something.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, he's apparently, like, from what's implied, he's wailing on his own children.
I'm guessing because the kid I think your avatar reflects your physical being, so he was getting more and more bruises on his back.
Yes,
which was weird because they appeared on his cape.
Yeah, not on his skin. Yeah, and that, I mean, listen, not to take away from those types of situations, but it felt tacked on here. Like, I don't know.
It did feel strange. And then I didn't know how it helped. I guess it made him feel more connected to her, but then.
And then she promptly leaves.
She just left.
Yeah, and goes on with her life.
And then it seemed like, okay, well, now I'm going to get in a relationship with Shinobu.
Or does she? Or does he just see her as a friend?
Why is she still blushing furiously every time he says something to her?
I don't know. All right.
What do you kids think about it?
Yeah, let's go around the table.
I thought this movie was good.
Okay.
Although it sucked having to read subtitles the first time I watched it.
Right.
But subs The voices.
Yeah, the first time Olive saw it was in Japanese, and the second time Olive saw
The
it was
Japanese
English.
voices are better than the dub voices.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
true. Like when
That's
she
true.
sings, it's way more better in Japanese or whatever she was singing, other than when she was singing in English. Because she sounded
I mean,
way
in
more
English, she had a beautiful voice. I don't understand.
better. You
I
should
mean,
have heard her in
did.
Chinese or Japanese.
But-
It was amazing.
it's a difference.
But
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, it's a
Her
big
her
difference.
voice was
Dub
very
voices are
angelic.
always worse than the original.
My only complaint was that this was all over the place. I wasn't really sure what the themes or the story that was trying to be conveyed.
That's because you're an adult. You don't get it, Mom.
I mean, maybe you're
You
right.
get the
Yes.
Get it, old lady.
Honestly, explain it to me.
it-
Explain it to me, Olive.
It
please.
really felt like three different movies all rolled into one movie.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, you explain
I
it to
think
me.
there could have been a fine movie about a girl coming out of her shell through the use of this virtual reality.
Yes, that would have
thing,
been a great film.
and how it affects her relationships with her friends in the real world and whatnot. And then I could have watched a completely different film about using virtual reality to help rescue a kid who's in a really bad position or a
Abusive.
dangerous, life-threatening situation, and like actually have some kind of give us some resolution to like show the police carting the dad away or
The neighbors get
or
involved.
the neighbors getting or some like
where the hell was
let
the
me know that this kid is okay.
Yeah.
It was just sort of like, I believe in you now. And then he just goes back home to his dad, who probably just
Beat the
what
crap
the
out
hell
of
was
him.
that? And just beats the crap out of
Right.
him.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
He says, I'm going to fight. You're a 14-year-old kid. Your dad's like 2 feet taller than you.
Yeah.
And
wider.
like just, yeah, he's like a thick guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
well, actually,
He's just going to beat the hell out of you.
like, I don't think he's going to do that because like whenever you see him like being abusive to his children, he's not like punching them and stuff. He's yelling at them and like
That's still
pushing them.
abuse.
Yeah.
That's still abuse.
So do you think that the bruises that appeared on the beast, they were from mental abuse? They weren't from physical abuse?
Well, there was a little bit of physical because like when they were trying to stop him from turning the camera off, like he basically pushed them to the ground.
Yeah, there was
So
that.
like he doesn't punch them at all.
well, not that we know of.
not that we saw on
yeah.
screen.
Just
Yeah.
because we don't see it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
I mean, he didn't mind like scratching what's her name's face.
Yeah.
Suzu's face. She got a pretty big cut on her cheek.
Yeah.
That could have been a totally different movie. Both movies could have been satisfying if they had like good resolutions. But I honestly I don't feel like I got any real kind of resolution other than Suzu's more confident now.
Yes.
She's not afraid to sing in public anymore.
Right. Or to stand up for herself.
Well, I mean, was she really having any trouble Was anybody bullying her?
No.
Not
No.
really,
No.
but she definitely had taken like a more passive seat in her own life story
Right, but
because
that's not
of
really,
the depression from
to-
the mother.
To me, that's not really standing up for yourself. It's like
In a
standing up for
way.
your, like I could see like if it turns out Ruka was just like the queen bee of the school and she
Right,
was just
right.
like beating the crap out of her or like saying nasty things and I'm standing up and nobody's gonna take your crap anymore, Ruka.
Yeah.
There you go. You just did Mean Girls. And this didn't have that. Everybody was super nice. And everybody
Yeah.
was concerned, and like suddenly there was the ants.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think it would have been a more impactful story if they had just focused on Suzu, the story of Suzu, how she comes out of her shell, and even developed the story between like a resolution in of the repair of the relationship between her and her father.
Yeah,
I think that would have been more integral to the story.
Yeah,
because
that
it's
felt
the
so
relationship.
shallow.
Yeah.
There was like nothing to it. It was just like the dad saying,
Hey, time for dinner.
Are you okay? Is it time for dinner? And then at the end, at the very end, hey, you want to have dinner?
Yes.
Yes, I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
And even the exchange on the cell phone when she's going to rescue, what was his name, Kai and Timur? What was it? I forgot. I don't remember.
They're Russian. The one of them's name started with a T. Yeah, the little one.
Yeah.
Tomo and K.
Tomo.
and K.
Tomo, sorry. So yeah, when she went to go rescue Tomo and Kay, the exchange on the phone between her and he was like very passive too. I would have been like, "Get your ass home.
Yeah,
Where are you going?
Or at least let me go with you in case this guy
is
beats
like
the
some
crap out
lunatic."
of you.
Well, I don't think she really divulged all that information to her father, but still.
But everybody else in that room knew.
Right.
Like, why didn't they all go?
Yes. Why did the aunties let
It's
her go
like-
alone?
Because they're idiots. And
Yeah,
it's
I
an
was
anime.
just-
Leave me
Like,
alone.
that's like it's like, okay, this is a very dangerous situation. We need to do something.
We're just gonna let this 14-year-old
Let's send
girl.
the 14-year-old girl who's like super timid.
Yeah,
and
who's like probably 100 pounds wet.
yeah. Well, she was wet, so I guess that helped.
Wet?
Maybe that extra weight from the rainwater just made her like so intimidating to that dad.
Yeah, he
Because
cowered.
he suddenly was just like. That's another thing about this, the anime reactions.
Yeah.
Everybody has the super anime reactions.
Exaggerated.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
covering your face for 10 minutes, shrieking wildly,
Yeah.
falling on the ground.
Turning red all over. All over, even your ankles. Like
Hyper
the
anime reactions.
the canoe guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go around the table and try to get everybody else's impressions. You go first. Well, you told me.
I've been
Yeah.
jabbering about this movie nonstop.
Gigi, what did you think of this film? Honestly. What could have made this better?
I don't know. Fix the story like you guys have been saying.
Do you
Did
think
you-
it felt like more than one story? Like could something have been jettisoned from the plot that?
I mean, the abuse thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a little extra.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite scene and or character?
No.
Fair enough. Did I ask you about favorite scene or character?
No, neither. I didn't. I felt nothing for any of these characters, and nothing they did touched me in any way or resonated in any way or made me care. Yeah, nothing really happened in this movie that I'm having trouble making sense of most of this.
Yeah, I kept turning to you and being like, what is going on? I still am unclear of the purpose of the film. I mean, I think the creators had an idea, but I think there was just too much going on. And I agree with you. If this had been sort of made into two different films, I think it would have worked better. I think you focus on Suzu and her situation and how she comes to this new resolution of finding herself in this virtual world, and then how finding herself in this virtual world helps her deal in the real life with her teen problems and kind of fractured relationship with her father and whatnot.
Yeah,
And then you can have a different movie, maybe even in the same universe, where there's this other boy in her school, because it doesn't make any sense that she's traveling 300 miles to see this kid, but have it be another child in this neighborhood who's going through stuff and maybe uses this social app to kind of escape the horrors of his in real life, and how he maybe finds friends there that give him the courage to open up, to seek help, maybe even go to the police to report the abuse that's going on in the house.
Yeah. Rather than just randomly. Oh, that was another thing. He appears, he randomly beats people up, and then like everybody's like, I think he's a hero.
Mostly little kids, though.
Most of the little kids were just
Yeah.
like, I think the Beast is great, yay!
Yay.
And it's just like he's just running around beating people up,
Murdering people.
love to
ruining
see it.
concerts. Well,
Yeah.
he wasn't really murdered. They're virtual avatars, but still, it was like if you went to a concert that everybody was having a great time, and you just started beating the hell out of people and smashing things and interrupting the concert, I doubt people outside, little kids, would be like, wow, that guy's awesome. He's the best.
Yeah.
It didn't make
But then again,
any
little
sense.
kids are very easily entertained. I don't know. This
Let's
movie was
let's
just.
not make excuses. I don't think little kids would be like, yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know. I don't know.
He's beating up everybody. I love people who are abusive.
Which then would make him no better than his father, I guess, right? So
yeah.
That's a strange thing to go into your safe fake world to be.
At the concert, he's defending himself.
Technically, you're right. I guess.
But he's being pursued because he was beating people up.
Didn't they say he was beating people up in the ring? He mysteriously appeared at some fighting ring or whatever.
I don't even know.
I don't even know. Maybe you're
they were
right.
talking about how he had wins and losses. How he would, when the people won, he would just.
So then, why were they chasing him? Because the people that were chasing him were like the
government.
You know,
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever they were. Like the dude with
The
all the
space police.
sponsorships, which another thing.
That was
like,
another thing. Yeah.
Why was that guy so mad?
I don't know.
And why did he have that? I think he explained why he had that power to reveal people's identities, but
I didn't get it.
I didn't quite understand that either.
Yeah.
Because he had that power because like there are no like law enforcement in you, so he basically.
But doesn't that make him the law enforcement? I mean, he got that power from the voices.
The higher ups.
Creators.
Yeah.
Like that's why they gave him
You don't
like
even
law
know.
enforcement.
Yeah. It's great being a
what do
kid.
you know?
It's great being a kid because you can just fill in the gaps with whatever random thing you want to fill it up with.
He's like law enforcement, basically.
I would have liked this better if the story had been more streamlined.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this movie a 5.
I'll give it a 4. I didn't like this movie.
It was better than Persuasion. You gave Persuasion a 4.
I did?
Yeah.
It was better than Persuasion, but
So you got to give it a 5.
I'm surprised. No, I can't. I'm not judging films by other films. I'm judging films by the way they make me feel here and now. Yeah. This is less than average. It's not good. So it gets a 4.
It's better than Persuasion.
It is, but they still both get 4s. Do you want me to say 4.5? I'll give it a 4.5.
All right, that's fair.
I usually don't go for the points. Not unless I'm in the between 9 and 10.
What about you, Gigi? What are you going to give this movie?
I'll give it 5 too.
5. Olive G. Scale of 1 to 10. I think you like this movie more than all of us.
Yeah.
What are you going to give it? You can be honest. Don't worry. You don't have to.
Yeah, you could love it.
Yeah. You want to give a 7? Okay, fair enough.
Okay. I made more for you anyway.
Yeah.
It's not really made for moms and dads.
Or people that like
good stories and
things that make sense.
things that make sense.
I mean, it's visually pretty. It's a very pretty. The animation style is really great. The voice actors were decent. The girl who's Belle / Suzu, she had a fantastic singing voice. It just would have been nicer if they had really focused, yes, and streamline the story and tell the story of a girl who suffers like a very traumatic loss and kind of finds herself in a virtual world. I think that would have spoken to maybe a wider audience and more people, because I think that kind of subject matter is relatable. This, I think, it was just trying to do too much.
Yeah.
And I think that, unfortunately, the whole product suffers because of that, which is unfortunate, because I think there was a good story here, or the kernel of a good story here.
There was the kernel of like a couple of good stories that should have been their own movies.
Exactly.
Rather than make 3 mediocre movies and strap them all into one big.
Yeah, and I didn't get the whole Beauty and the Beast kind of.
Yeah, I think that was.
I'm surprised the Disney lawyers didn't come out and.
That's an old That's an old theory.
serve us.
Anybody can make their own version of Beauty and the Beast.
I guess.
But I get the feeling that it was more, that felt kind of superficial.
Agreed.
It was just sort of like, what if we named them Belle and the Beast? And they were just like,
He was basically called the Dragon most of the time, right?
Was he? I thought he was called
That
the
was
Beast.
like another nickname for him.
He doesn't. Was he a dragon? I thought he was a wolf.
his face was kind of dragon-like with those crazy
teeth.
teeth.
Did he have horns?
He had two big horns.
Yeah. Wolves don't have
He didn't look like a wolf at all.
He looked like a wolf to me.
He looked like his face, his head at least looked very like a Japanese dragon design that you'd see on a tattoo.
Yeah. Some of that.
My favorite part of the movie was when you said,
Yeah, me too. My favorite part of the movie was when he said that his teeth would puncture her chest.
He did not.
Yeah, his teeth were out of control, and they were very. There was a hug where she basically hugged his snout, and his lower incisor was dangerously close to just popping her boob. She didn't really have like giant boobs to pop, but they were. It was like
Which is
in
surprising in
general
anime.
area. Yeah.
Usually you have the girl with
not
the
her boob,
outrageous
she
boob.
could have gotten stabbed in the armpit or something.
That was my favorite part of the movie. I think we all had a good laugh.
Except for Olivia, who didn't hear it at first.
Yeah. If you have small children, I guess 10 and under, this might be
I think they would like it. There's lots of visual eye candy to love.
There's no cursing.
There's no cursing.
There's, I guess, scenes of peril and I guess dark situations, but no, you don't see. Well, I mean, she gets smacked and there's blood, but you don't really see.
It's not even really a smack. It's just he grabs her face and his nail scratches her cheek.
Yeah, but I mean that seemed like a big thing for I don't know. You know what? We're done. Yeah. We're done. If you have small kids, maybe. If you're older, this might be a pass. I don't think that this is the type of thing that's going to hold your attention. If you love anime, then give it a shot. And if you've perused all the streaming services and are bored, give it a shot. That's it from us, and we will bid you all
Good night.
Night.